Hey friends, Jessica Jackstock here. Earlier this week, a few people in my Hormone Savvy Mamas group asked, what is normal for hormones postpartum? And can we kind of talk about, what expectations, what we should see postpartum, and what to do if something is abnormal? So I thought, that is a really good topic, especially for me personally, as I'm in that time of life right now where I've got a 2-month-old, so definitely postpartum here. And I had not personally done a whole lot of research on hormones in that particular time of life, so I thought that would be a really great topic to look into today. So I did some research after I got that request for talking about this topic and came across some really interesting things. So we're going to talk about just some of the issues that you may see postpartum, kind of talk about what's normal and what's not, and then talk about at the end some things that you can do to resolve these issues. Sorry, I'm being a little distracted because my husband just came home. Hey babe. Hi. Okay, so the first issue is night sweats, and this is completely normal for basically the first few weeks postpartum. It's due to an estrogen dip after delivery. If it lasts longer than a month, then that is not normal. So that's something that you should probably get looked at if you're experiencing night sweats after the first month. It can also be due to retention of water after delivery. The second one is baby blues, and I hesitate to call this normal, to say there's a range of normal here. It is very, very common due to changes in your hormones, again, lack of sleep, that's kind of an obvious one. Nutrient deficiencies, because the baby is taking so many nutrients, took so many nutrients from you while you were pregnant, and then after delivery, of course, if you're breastfeeding, then they'll be taking a lot of your nutrients then as well. And then just adjusting to having a new person in the house and the stress of that adjustment, the changes that it makes to your family dynamic. It is normal to feel a little sad or overwhelmed as you are adjusting. It's not normal if it's more severe and it's really like taking over your whole life and making it difficult to do your normal activities. If it's affecting your relationships, if you're just constantly struggling with negative thoughts and anxiety, then that would be something to seek help for, and I would suggest seeking professional help if that's a position that you're in. Third one is hair loss, and this is kind of the one I'm not really looking forward to. I haven't hit that yet with Josie since I'm only at 2 months postpartum, but around 4 months postpartum, it is very normal for the hair that your body has been holding on to while you're pregnant to just start falling out. Just think about it. You've had 9 months of your body holding on to hair that it wouldn't normally hold on to, that it would normally just shed on kind of an everyday basis. And then there's like a hormone change at 4 months postpartum, and it just all starts to fall out. So that can last up to 6 to 12 months postpartum. And you may see like large clumps of hair, just more hair than you would normally see falling out, kind of see it everywhere. It's not normal for you to experience loss of large clumps of hair for an extended period of time. If you start seeing like visible scalp where you used to have hair, if you're losing hair elsewhere on your body, like if your eyebrows start to fall out, or if you're losing hair past 12 months without that sort of peak of hair loss and then it starts to reduce, then that could be a sign of a hormone imbalance. Number 4 is low libido. And this is kind of normal, if you're fatigued, if you're experiencing some stress with adjusting to having a new baby in the house. Your estrogen is low, so that's going to affect you're going to be drier because of the low estrogen. And it's normal for it to last several months to a year, even up to when you finally wean. Very normal. It's not normal to experience pain after say a few months postpartum, maybe up to 6 months if you had tears or that sort of thing as those heal. And if it continues up to 12, 18, maybe 24 months postpartum, then that could be an indicator of a hormone imbalance if that low libido continues. And if it's combined with those feelings of sadness or anxiety or overwhelm, that could also be an indicator of postpartum depression. That would be something that you would want to have looked at by a professional. Number 5 is fatigue. Again, very normal if you are nursing a baby all night long or feeding the baby a bottle all night long. It's normal to be very tired as you're not getting enough sleep. It's not normal if the amount of fatigue that you're feeling is inconsistent with the amount of sleep that you're getting. So if you start getting more sleep and you're still feeling overwhelmingly fatigued, if you feel like you're run down all day long, if you're getting sick frequently, then that could be a sign of a bigger issue than just normal fatigue. Number 6 is weight gain, or just weight in general. So it's normal postpartum to lose a big chunk of weight, and then it can be very normal to hang on to some of that, 10 or more pounds even. If you are not at least 6 months to a year postpartum, you really shouldn't be thinking too much about your weight. Give yourself a little bit of slack there, especially if you're breastfeeding. Very normal to hang on to some of that. If you are past that 6 months to a year point and you still have like 20 extra pounds of weight, or if you're saying if you're eating a healthy diet and you are gaining weight, then that could be a sign of a bigger problem, that something is wrong with your hormones. So some things that you can do to resolve hormone imbalance postpartum, just a list here of things you can do. You can stay hydrated. Okay, that's a big one, especially when you're talking about your night sweats or your fatigue or your weight gain. Staying hydrated is really big, for kind of remedying those issues. Second, make sure that you are eating a healthy diet. So lots of fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, things that you'd find in like avocados or coconut oil, protein, your eggs, healthy carbs. For example, sweet potatoes are a really good source of healthy carbohydrates. You want to limit the amount of refined carbohydrates and processed sugar, because that's going to cause like a spike in your energy and then it's going to plummet again. So it's best to limit the intake of those kinds of carbohydrates. Third, make sure that you are, once you're feeling well enough postpartum, getting moderate exercise. That can go a long way toward helping you have more energy. Obviously, it helps with the weight issue, helps with sleep. And sleep is my next one here. So get as much sleep as you can. I know it's really hard when you have kids, but if you can take a nap, or if your partner can help maybe with the nighttime feedings, that can sometimes help you to get more sleep. Let's see, what number am I on here? I think I'm on number 5. Manage your stress, because stress affects your cortisol. So cortisol is a stress hormone. And when you're talking about hormones, they all affect each other. There's an interplay with all of your hormones. So if your cortisol is high, that's going to be negatively affecting your other hormone levels. So make sure that you're doing things to manage your stress. And I talked about that on Wednesday, on my live video Wednesday. So if you want some ideas for managing your stress, you can go back and watch that video. I think we're on 6 here, is you may need some supplements. If you are, especially if you're breastfeeding. So while you're pregnant, your baby will take a lot of your nutrients, and then also when you're breastfeeding, a lot of those nutrients are going to go to the baby. And if you are not eating well, or if maybe you're just not getting enough of those nutrients from your foods, then you may need to supplement to make sure that both you and your baby are getting enough of the nutrients that you need to keep your body healthy, to keep your hormones balanced, to keep those issues at a kind of keep them at bay. And obviously, I'm a big believer in using essential oils for supporting your entire body and specifically keeping your hormones in check as well. So those are one option for supplements. The postpartum period is really crazy, but I hope that these kind of ideas that I've gone through today have been helpful for you. The various issues that we went through, and then the possible solutions for helping to keep them at a minimum. If you found value in this, I would appreciate it if you commented or shared. And if you are interested, I mentioned at the beginning in my Hormone Savvy Mamas group, if you would like to join that group, please just leave a comment below and I'll make sure that you get the information that you need to get in that group. So that is all that I have for today. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comments, and I will talk to you all later.